Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to see what are differential relays, what are its operating characteristics, what are its applications, what are its disadvantages, and all. So first of all, coming to differential relays, they are called as unit protection relays. Right? Unit protection. That means if we want to protect a particular area of a power system, particular area in the power flow, a particular equipment, any particular equipment, so differential relays can be used. So this is called as unit protection. And also these differential relays are used for protection of generators, transformers, feeders, and large motors, and also bus bars. Right? So these are, in these areas, differential relays are used. So, and also, on what principle does it work? So it principle, as the name indicates, it works on the principle of some difference. What is the difference? So it operates based on phase difference. Right? Phase difference of what? Phase difference of either voltage or current. Right? So when this phase difference of this electrical quantity, that may be either voltage or current, right? So whenever there is a phase difference between this one, or the phase difference is greater than a predetermined value, then this works. Differential relay works. Right? So let us see its characteristics now. Principle of working. How does it work? Right? So these are the two CTs. CT1, CT2 I am taking. The thing that is represented in dotted line is nothing but the area which we need to protect. That may be a generator or transformer or a feeder or a motor or a bus bar. Whatever it may be, this is the area of protection we need to do. Right? So now these two secondaries of the CTs are connected like this with the help of a relay. So this is our relay. Right? So this is the relay. So these wires with the help of which these two current transformers are connected are called pilot wires. Right? So these are called pilot wires. So let us assume the current flowing through the CT1 is I1 and the current flowing through CT2 is I2. One thing to note down here is the amount of current which is flowing through the current transformer 2 may happen in either direction. That means if it is a double fed system, the direction of current is opposite to that represented in this diagram. Right? So now the current due to the current I1, the induced current is I1 here, induced current is I2 here. Right? So the current flowing through the relay, as you can observe, it is I1. Right? I1 will be flowing like this. Right? Again coming to I2. So I2 will be in the opposite direction. Right? So this will be I1, this will be I2. The net current flowing through the relay is nothing but the difference of I1 and I2. So we are already seen that these relay must be connected such that the potential between these two lines is equal. That is a condition for the differential relay. So that means the resistance of the left hand side of this relay must be equal to the right hand side, so that the net amount of current flowing through this relay is equal from the both sides when there is no fault. That is normal condition. Right? So that means if I1 is equals to I2, if there is no fault, I1 difference of I2 will be 0. That means there is no net current flowing through the relay. That means the relay is not operating. Right? So this is the normal condition operation of the differential relay. So now whenever a fault occurs in the area which we need to protect, let us suppose. So in this area some fault has been occurred, right? So if now I1 will not be equal to I2, right, as there is a fault here. So I1 may be greater than I2 or I2 may be greater than I1 depending upon the whether it is single phase system or a double phase system, right? So that means there is a net difference of current which is flowing through the relay. That means I1 will not be equal to I2. So during fault, right? So if I1 is not equal to I2, this relay starts operate. Some amount of net current will be flowing through this relay, which makes this relay to operate only if that current, which is difference of I1 and I2, is greater than the predetermined value of the relay or the set value of the relay, right? So this is the principle of operation of a differential relay. So now let us see what are the problems associated with this kind of relay. So one is, we have seen that the two current transformers must be connected with the help of pilot wires we have seen, and also we have studied that this relay must be connected on the equipotential points. That means on the left hand side of the relay and right hand side of the relay from up to the CTs, the resistance must be equal. There must not be any potential difference between these 2 points. So practically, if you take a power system, the unit that must be protected may be very large in case of feeders or bus bars. So this may be very large. That means the length of the pilot wires that which we are taking to protect that unit might be very large. So in case of such large systems, it is very difficult to calculate the equipotential point, right? So that is a problem. That is, problem number 1 is length of pilot wires. Even if we take the pilot wires of that length also, it is very difficult for us to calculate the equipotential point, right? So now it is we have to find out the equipotential point, and then we must see that. That means we must see that resistance is equal on both sides, right? So to overcome this, what we will do? To overcome this, what we will do is, our aim is to have equal resistance on both sides, right? So to achieve that one, what we'll be doing is, we will take adjustable resistors on both sides. We'll be taking adjustable resistors on both sides of the relay. So these are our adjustable relays, right? Adjustable relays. So with the help of these adjustable relays, we'll be able to adjust the resistance of the lines on both the sides so that we get the equipotential point and the relay does not maloperate, right? So let us see about the next issue. The next issue is nothing but the CT ratio. So for this relay to operate, one more condition is the CT of which is on both sides must have similar operating characteristics. But practically, if you see, to obtain two current transformers with a similar operating characteristics is very difficult. So that becomes a problem here, right? So exact matching of that CT characteristics is very difficult in practical. What happens? Why it happens? Because the magnetic saturation of both the CTs may not be same. So practically, any two CT ratios may not have same magnetic saturation. So what happens due to this? Due to this, it leads to mismatch on secondary currents, and therefore due to the fault, there is difference in saturating points, and therefore there is a difference in characteristics, right? So this is a problem regarding the differential relays. So how this problem can be overcome? So this problem can be overcome using percentage differential relay. using a percentage differential relay. So the same percentage differential relay can also be called as biased differential relay. Right? So in biased differential relay, the problem of the characteristic matching of both the CTs on which is on both sides of the relay can be overcome. So let us see about the biased differential relay in the next lecture. Thank you.